Hello, everybody. Coach Allison back with week 26 Defy Aging. This week we have something sort of similar to last week, where we have sort of a circuit A and a circuit B. This week, however, circuit A is going to be the little baby circuit. There's going to be 2 exercises, and once again, they're going to be timed for 30 seconds each with no timed rest. So you'll do exercise 1 for 30 seconds, and then just enough rest time to sort of switch to the second thing, and then your coach will start the 30 seconds for that second exercise. Going to run through circuit A's movements twice. Okay, we'll demonstrate, of course, what those are. Circuit B is going to be the larger circuit. There's going to be 7 exercises in circuit B. It's going to be on the turf, rotating around, kind of more standard. Excuse me. However, that's going to be only 2 rotations, rotating around twice for those 7 exercises, and the timing is going to be 45 seconds on, 35 seconds off. One thing that's going to be a little bit different about this, the way we're going to run this, is there's kind of quite a few, 1, 2, maybe just 2. There's a couple single-sided exercises as usual, but instead of switching sides halfway through the set, since there's only 2 rounds, we're going to do all of round 1 on like the right side of the body, and then all of round 2 on the other side. So you don't have to worry about switching sides in the middle of the set, which is kind of nice. But the only tricky thing though with this, there's always like a give and take, right? Is that you have to remember which side you did for round 1, because we got to do the other side for round 2. So a little caveat there. Anyways, and then of course we're going to have a team builder at the end. So let's review our exercises. Again, circuit A, circuit B. Let's do a little review. The first exercise in circuit A, so this is the one where it's going to be for 30 seconds. Everyone can do this. Last week we had the tricep push down and the bicep curls. It looked like I was doing the same thing. Because we had to split the team into 2 groups and then swap. We don't have to do that this week. Everyone can do all of this stuff at the same time. So everyone can do exercise 1 together. It's going to be kneeling get-ups. However, we haven't done this since we had them in the previous warm-up. I wanted to give everyone a nice break from them. So kneeling get-ups, if you're new to us, this will be a new experience for you probably. Start in a tall kneeling position. Tall kneeling is like this versus, kind of crouched like this. Bring one knee up into a half kneel. Then we stand. That same leg that you brought up first is then the first leg to go back down. And just keep leading with that same leg. We have 2 rounds of this. So let's lead with one leg for round 1, lead with the other leg for round 2. So if this was round 1 for me, I'm going to continually lead with my right leg. Right leg up, right leg down. I'm going to continually lead with this right leg. And then when I come back for my second set, then I lead with my left leg. A couple ways you get this is hard. So you can do a little assistance, pushing off of your thigh, and then using this thigh to come back down. So see how I'm assisting myself up, and now assisting myself down. Okay? But we don't want to use so much assistance that we're like having to like excessively lean forward, and like I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit to make a point, but not really. I mean, if that's how much leaning and pushing you would need, I would like you to instead do our step up option. So that being said, another option instead of the kneeling get up is a step up. So we have plenty of options for steps. Step up, step down. Same gist though, continually leading with the same leg. So if this was my round 1, I'm going to step up left, down left, up left, down left. Continue leading with that same leg, and then switch for round 2. Anyway, that's our kneeling get up. It's been a while. Let's revisit those. You would do 30 seconds of that, and then 30 seconds of our next exercise. Okay, circuit A, exercise 2, is a toes out calf raise. We haven't I don't think we've done calf raises in years. So a calf raise is your calves are down here. That's the muscle behind the shin. And a calf raise is typically toes forward, lifting up onto your toes like this. We're going to do a toe out variety. Kind of works a different part of your calf. So you're going to do a little bit of a stance like this. I just opened up my toes a little bit. Okay, doesn't have to be, all the way up. So this is normal, just a little bit out, and we're going to do our calf raise like this. Pause for a second at the top of the movement so we're not just bouncing. If you need something for balance, totally fine. I'm going to guess most of us are going to want something for balance because when you lift onto your toes, it drastically reduces our ability to balance because we're on like this much of our foot. Totally fine. We don't care about the balance. So we want to probably use something for balance. Again, pause for that 1 second up in the air so you know you have that squeeze, that contraction in your calf. A little tip here to get more out of the contraction. It's mental. You have to kind of do it on your own. It doesn't happen just on its own. You have to do it consciously. I want you to pretend when you're in the lifted position that you're squeezing the floor between your feet. It's weird because when you lift your feet, you feel like you're just taking the floor and you're going, like you're trying to like knead bread, like you're trying to. So if you can picture that and pretend you're trying to take the floor and just squeeze it between your feet, you will get like a 50%, totally threw out a random percentage, bigger contraction in your calves. So you'll get more strengthening out of this. Okay, so that's exercise 2, 30 seconds for circuit A. All right, everybody, we are in circuit B. First station is a bird dog single arm row. Okay, so we're going to be in a bird dog position, but it's going to be quite a bit different than our normal bird dog. So we're on our hands and knees, got a band with the handles, the tubing with handles tied up in front of you. Okay, so bird dog is one arm and the opposite leg. So I have the band in my left hand, so that means my right leg is going to go back. A typical bird dog, there's like arm and leg movement, but this one, the leg is going to remain stationary, so my leg's not moving, and I'm going to be pulling the arm. Keep the wrist neutral, so the palm is facing in towards the center of the body. Keep your neck neutral as well, so my head is looking down, so I'm not looking forward at the anchor point. That kinks my neck. We want a nice neutral neck. Okay? So yeah, this is it. Keep your elbow tucked in tight so we're not flaring it out to the side. A lot of balance here. The leg might start kind of sinking down, so try to consciously keep that leg out there. All right, that one would be very cumbersome and tedious to switch in the middle, so I'm really glad this week we're doing the whole set on one side. Again, remember what side you did because we got to do the other side next time. Anyone staying off the floor, I will show you what we're going to do instead. It is very, very similar. You have a box or a bench, same thing. I got to get my bearings down here. Opposite leg. You kind of need to be on the side, like the edge of it, because this hand has to come down and hang a little below it. See? So if I was like in the center of it, I wouldn't be able to do that. So keep that in mind. You got to be right on the edge of it. My left hand's on the box, so my right hand has the weight, so my left leg is out. And we're going to do a more traditional row, like this. Okay, so the other one was kind of a row this way. Now we're going to do I shouldn't say traditional row, sorry, a traditional dumbbell row, which is always lifting up. So, but yep, there you go. Still a ton of balance. Okay, all is still a bird dog up on the feet versus on the knees, so we got you covered. Okay, next station is lateral hop overs. You can use the bands like this, or if the coach wants if you have space in your turf, you can stretch out one of the battle ropes, actually. That'll give you a longer space before you have to turn around and go the other way. But the bands work just fine if you're if you're tighter on space. Both feet together. You can use arms for some wind up. Try to keep the feet together as you hop over. Okay? And you also move down the length of the band as well. Okay? You can go whatever. If you want to go like I'm going nice and slow, one at a time. Okay? If you want to progress, when you get to the end, turn around and go the other way. But if you want to progress this, add speed. So you can go like this. That would be a progression. That would be a next level. We can also, if there's any issue with impact on the knees or any impact like back, ankles, anything like that, we can make it a little gentler by doing kind of a fast step touch, so more of a step over versus a hop over. But then you do need to I want you to add the speed. So we're getting that, we're getting the cardio effect out of it. And that's going to be more for that it's going to be more agility versus cardio and legs. So adding speed, fast step touch. For both of these options though, the reason we're using the band, I know people say like, do we have to use the band? Can't we just hop or step? Yes. The reason we want to use the rope or the band is to ensure that we're practicing picking up our feet. We want to, as we age, we want to make sure we're learning to not drag our feet. So when you have just something to make sure you're not doing this, and if you happen to do that, that's fine. Bend down, straighten it out, continue. But that's the purpose of having just something to actually hop over, just FYI. So it forces you more to have to use those hip flexors, those thighs, those legs to pick up the feet. So that's our hop over station. Next up, we have a single arm rack to carry. Again, this is one station where you'll do one arm for the whole round one, other arm for the whole round two. We got our kettlebells. Okay, going to start by holding it just normal down here. As you pick it up, you kind of rotate it, and you can use your other hand to help it. That's fine. You don't have to just lug it up all on its own. But see how I kind of rotated it? And if you do that rotation, it gets it right in the right spot. See a lot of incorrect form with this, so I really want to drive this one home, but without taking too long, your coaches will help you. A racked carry is not back here behind the arm. It's not on top of the shoulder. A racked carry should have your thumb physically connected to your center sternum. So if it's back here, that's not. If it's up here, that's not. Boom, now it is. So your thumb should be, your thumb is an arrow pointing physically at your chest. Okay. Elbow is kind of angled down and out. Okay. So again, if you're up here, the elbow is angled perfectly out to the side. That's incorrect. Now it's angled down and out. And the curve, the top curve of the kettlebell should be right in the little crook of the pointer and thumb. Okay. All those things, and you don't have to have a death grip. You don't even need to be gripping at all. My shoulder's getting tired holding this. Shoulder is primary muscle here. Arm, of course. Chest, the side you're holding it, the pec muscle, chest muscle on that side. And depending on the weight of your kettlebell, some core muscle too. So all that stuff, you have it nice and snug in here. Arm is not a shelf. Again, now my elbow is pointing straight out to the side. That's incorrect. Elbow should be down and out, not just out. So your elbow is not a shelf for the kettlebell. That's not a racked carry. A racked carry is elbow is tight into the side. A lot of things. Ooh, that hurt my arm. I have tendonitis in that arm. Also, it's not very watch friendly. So if you have a wearable, you might want to either flip the watch down under the wrist or take it off for this station if it's easy to get on and off for you. Just FYI. Once we have all of that stuff for the carry, see all those things? Loose grip, curve of the bar or the bell, handle, sheesh, right in the crook of my hand here, elbow pointing down and out, not a shelf, and thumb is at my sternum. All that stuff on either side. Once you have the position, we go for a walk. Your coach will have a route because we're doing a single arm carry. So you'll just go for whatever route that you have. All right. Round one side, round two, other side. Station, whatever we're on, needs no introduction. It's a low plank. Do I have space here? Yeah, elbow plank. All right. I'm very close to this because I'm going to use it next. But this is awkward. You're on your forearms, aka your elbows, and your feet. That's one option. Level hips, so we don't want a butt way up here, and we also don't want it like sinking, of course. Definitely do knees, but notice when I change to a knee plank, all I do is put my knees down. I mean, that sounds obvious, but what I mean is a knee plank isn't like this with like the butt way up like that. So make sure if you do a knee plank, scoot your knees back enough from the side is probably better. See how I'm still in that nice diagonal, so I still feel a challenge in my core. If you're like if you're like this, there's really no, it's a nice stretch. It almost feels like child's pose. So keep that in mind if you're doing a knee version. You can always take it up to a incline as well. Still want the elbows directly under the shoulders. What I mean by that is not like this. And we still want a diagonal body position, meaning hips are not up too high. Okay, we always have options for planks, so everyone can do them. And yeah, let's just hit a nice low plank this week. Next station is biceps and shoulders. Curl press, haven't done this for a while. Okay, start hands in at the bottom, controlled bicep curl, controlled overhead press, and then control it all the way down. This one can tend to get a little momentum-y, so by that we can like plop and jerk and sway and swing and all the words. So just be, go slow. Because there's so much involved in this, you might only get like 5, 6, 7 reps in 45 seconds because it involves a curl and it involves 2 exercises in 1 rep. And if you do them slowly, it takes a while, and that's okay. You can try a staggered stance like this if you prefer. That just can kind of help you feel a little more grounded. I think it's my preference, as opposed to like this can tend to be a little more easier to kind of want to do the leaning and the swaying. That's just preference. You can try both stances and see what you prefer. All right, biceps and shoulders. Let's hit that one. All right, next station, station 6, band reverse fly. I did it a couple weeks ago. It's great for the rear delts and then high upper back here. We did it a couple weeks ago, so I think the cues should be fresh in your heads, hopefully, but of course we might have some new folks. Arms are straight out in front of you with about, 12 to 18 inch gap between. Slight bend in your elbow. When I say straight out in front of you, it's just a given that I still mean a slight bend in your elbows because we never do anything with a locked in knee or a locked in elbow. That's just never. Anyway, that being said, so straight out in front of you, and think of your arms as wings. Excuse me. And you're opening up those wings wide. You're not bending the elbows and pulling back. Here's what I mean by that. Oops. Opening wide. Arms just stay locked into that straight. The elbows don't stay locked, but I mean, the arms stay in a fixed position. Opening wide. Chest kind of comes out. The band should actually physically come and touch your upper chest. Okay. So what I meant by that locked fixed position is if I was doing a row, incorrect for this movement would be starting here, but changing my arm position and pulling back. So now I do not have a fixed arm position because it started here, changed and ended like this. My arm position changed. With a fly, what we're doing this week, your arm position really doesn't change. It starts in a straight position here, ends in a straight position there. I hope that makes sense. Very big difference in what it's doing for your back and your shoulders. All right, so this is our fly. Focus on the backs of your shoulders for the most part. You want to maybe go lighter than what you would do for like a pull down. If we were doing the same, if we were doing this exercise, like the band pull down, you could probably go heavier band because it's a stronger movement. So pick something medium to light for your band, I think, and you should be good to go. Last station, we got to have some sort of squat thing. I mean, we had this kneeling get-ups earlier, but that's not really a squat. Anyways, I didn't know what to call this, so I called it a side step squat. Okay, it's challenging. You're going to go into so normal squats down and up, right? So we're going to do, that's not what we're doing. Just wanted to make sure everyone knows what a squat is. Go into our squat, take a step, then come up. Squat, step, squat. Come up. Blah, blah. The hard part here, well, I mean, it's hard. All of it's hard. The tricky thing is to keep that lowest squat position while you're taking your step. So I'll show you what I mean by that. We're down, take your side step, come up, tip backwards. Down, take your side step, come up. Okay? Now, it's going to be tempting to be down and kind of come up as you're stepping sideways. You see how I kind of did that? I'll show you incorrectly again. You're down, but I'm going to kind of like sneak my way up as I step. Try to lock yourself in that down position for the whole lateral step. Also, don't step in too close. Make sure that when you're stepping to the side, you only come so far in that you remain in a squat stance. I'll show you what I mean by that. Squat stance is hip width apart. Down, step, but I'm only going to bring my other foot to about here because now I'm all set for my next squat. I just moved over so I have room in the camera, as opposed to this and then bringing my feet all the way together. Now I'm not set up for a proper squat. I have to reposition. So keep that in mind. Down, step, up. Right, I'm already in the perfect position for a squat. Step, up, down, step, up. I suggest doing this one in front of a mirror. Then when you're doing your step, your lateral step, you can kind of watch your head level and make sure that it's staying level when you're doing your step to make sure you're not cheating and kind of starting to come up early. So that is our squat station for this week. Okay, quick team builder. We're going to do a little arm finisher with a partner, okay? It's going to be a tricep push down, tricep partner push down. I haven't really named it yet. So you'll be with a partner. You'll each have a band, and I don't have a partner, so I have a rack. But you're going to link your bands together, okay? You'll each still have your own handles, but you're going to link the bands together, facing one another, okay? I wish I just had some other person here, but you're facing each other, okay? Forget the band, but you. And tricep push down. We did it last week with this, your individual band. It's the same exact exercise. I just want to reiterate more tricep work, right? But it's going to be a little working with your partner with this. So you're each going to press your right hand at the same time and your left hand at the same time. That's very important because when I'm pressing my right hand at the same time as my partner, it's crossing because my right hand and their right hand is cross from each other. Because if you shake someone's right hand, you're going across, right? So it's very important because you need to be doing that counter pulling with one another. So, but you have to get on the same rhythm and the same cadence as your partner. So with the music playing overhead, I recommend going to the beat of the music so you could stay on the same rhythm. Anyways, so for 60 seconds, we're going to do this. So you'll go right hand at the same time, left hand at the same time, right hand at the same time, left hand. Remember tricep push downs. You keep your upper arm still. And when you're doing it, pulling straight across, because when you're doing it the way we had it last week, it was hooked up high. But when you're doing it straight across, you only have to come up to like here because the band is going straight this way. But yeah, push down all the way if you can. Watch out for wrists. Keep wrists straight if you can. Okay. But yeah, we're not letting the full arm come up like this or anything. This part of the arm is just glued to your side. Okay, but again, pressing right hand at the same time as your partner, left hand at the same time as your partner. It's tricky for a lot of people because you think you want to be pressing this visually the same side. So like if I'm going visually pressing my right hand, that would be my partner's left hand. But that's incorrect. We're both pressing our own right hands, which again, if you go to shake the right hand of someone in front of you, it's crossing. I'm shaking someone's right hand. So that's what we're doing. Right hands together, left hands together. So we're going to do that for 60 seconds. Let's burn out those triceps, get them a good burn. And that's our team builder. All right, week 26, another week. We're already middle of June somehow, right? Anyways, okay, I'll see you back next week. I hope you enjoy this workout.